Welcome to this episode of Kennedy Saves the World. It's Monday. A lot happened over the weekend, and we have to digest it with Jimmy Failla.
Jimmy.
So, first of all, tomorrow is 1 month until 248. What are you doing in the month leading up to the 4th of July to really prep for it?
For real, because the 4th of July marks the beginning of my actual, first vacation in, years.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I'm like in a, you know... I'm getting deep here, but I don't ever take off because I like the madness of that. So I have days off, but I never take a proper vacation where I'm not shooting something or doing something. So knowing I'm going full, can you say balls to the wall on this show?
I think you should. And it's been said many times.
Cojones to the bonus or whatever the wording would be. Knowing I'm going to be off for 12 days.
Yeah.
Okay. Is what I'm trying to do is price in the weight gain on the front end. So this next month of my life is an exercise to lose the 10 pounds I can then intentionally gain back.
It's great.
So I can show up back to work on July 14th or 15th like I just look the same.
Yeah, you had your vacation interrupted last year.
Oh, yeah. You know what we did? We were supposed to be out hanging out with you on the 4th of July, which is a tradition for both of our families.
That's right.
But we wound up flying back, and I think we hosted the 4th of July on Fox News, which is obviously a high honor. My Uncle Sam was watching in the old folks' home. I gave him a shout out, and all those World War II vets were pretty fired up about that.
Damn.
But do you know who was because my rhythm was disrupted? And my rhythm is disrupted. Jimmy's just...
Was that the McDonald's
Yes,
night?
that's the McDonald's massacre.
Oh, no. The McDonald's massacre. It's like a 20-piece McNugget.
So you guys might
3
default.
Big Macs.
I ordered $64 worth of McDonald's drive-through food alone and ate all of it, including 3 milkshakes, 3 large fries, 10 cheeseburgers, 2 20-piece McNuggets.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, sorry. So the point is...
So that's when you put on the 10 pounds, in one night.
Yeah.
So now you're giving yourself permission over the next month to finally take it off.
This is going to... Good for you! So this next month, the champ has to play a little defense.
Yeah.
But then we're getting rad. We're getting rad on the West Coast, and I'm excited about it.
We're getting rad. We're getting rowdy. I've got Freedom Fest right after the 4th of July. So I have to get extra patriotic over the next month and a half. So I want to talk to you about something. I spoke with Dana Perino and Bill Hemmer on their show this morning about it. And I'm really getting sick of people thinking that we need to wrap Caitlin Clark in tissue paper.
That's so true.
And put her in a little plastic case so she can't be harmed.
Yeah.
And, as though women's basketball should be a tea party.
This is where they infantilize women, and specifically the women that are breakthrough stars like Caitlin Clark. Okay, do you know how many times Michael Jordan got fouled? Just by the Knicks alone in the Eastern Conference Finals. They were doing things to Michael Jordan that are actually technically illegal under the Geneva Convention. But he was Michael Jordan. He was a big, tough pro athlete. He was the best. He'd get his revenge on the, in the final score, in the box score. And that's ultimately where Caitlin Clark is going to win as well. But because we are kind of infantilizing her trip through the WNBA. Yeah, it's not cool that they're fouling her the way they are, but we should also allow her to get out there on the court and fight for herself. We should also allow her teammates. So if anything...
That was the only good argument I saw, was that her teammates should be doing more to protect her.
That's what I was going to say.
If they want to win, yes, they should do more to protect her. But the entire league, sitting the refs down and, having a deep think about how we need to officiate the sport to protect her because now people are finally watching.
Yeah.
It's you're basically admitting you're a fan of a garbage league. If one person getting fouled is going to send the whole thing down the toilet.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. And that's why sports, and this is what makes sports great, is they don't intentionally factor in your feelings. That's why some of the best moments of your life involve, outcomes that provided you with an emotion you didn't think was coming. You know what I mean? The Bills were down 35-3 at the half. In the 1993 AFC Championship game. But they came back and won the game. Now imagine the yin and the yang of emotion. If you try to factor in the emotion on the front end, we want everyone to feel good no matter what. Sports is the one place that absolutely doesn't exist to do that for you. It exists because of the upset, because of the shocking moment, because of the thing you didn't see coming. And if we're just now going to be told that we're bumper bowling for Caitlin Clark emotionally, you're going to lose some of the emotional spontaneity of sports.
Yeah, but I don't like the lecture that they're giving everyone else. You are so lucky to be here in her league. Do you know how lucky you are? And it's she's a flopper.
Hold
She
on.
flops.
She's not even the best female athlete named Caitlyn, if we're going to get technical. If we're not going to...
I would love to see Caitlyn Jenner play for the Indiana Fever.
Yo, they would not be fouling Caitlyn Jenner like that. She hit him with a gold medal. She ain't gonna have it.
She probably has a golf club stuck somewhere. She'd whack him in the side of the head with that, too.
But the point is, obviously, we're not on board with them abusing Caitlin Clark.
No, I don't want anyone to get hurt. I don't want anyone to get targeted. But I also don't like this wuss double standard that they're applying to women's basketball all of a sudden, which should be a physical game.
It should be. If you want to enjoy it, if you're trying to make the case, right, that the WNBA is on par with the NBA, and I'm going to play along for the purposes of this interview. Give me a second here.
They try to do that. They're like, well, the attendance was the exact same. I went to Gainbridge for the Pacers game in the Eastern Conference Final, and they kept flashing on the big screen that the Indiana Fever sold just as many tickets as the Pacers, and it's like, did they?
No.
Don't go anywhere. More Kennedy Saves the World right after this.
Here's another
Did they
thing.
give them away?
Yeah.
Were they like a nickel a piece?
Are they do they cost the same?
Yeah.
No, the answer is no. And that's fine. But the truth is, when it comes to like the Caitlin Clark thing, okay, whenever there's a transformative person, whether it's in politics, whether it's in sports, they always try to like reconfigure how we process these events to accommodate the storyline they're rooting for. But the thing that makes sports great is that the storyline can't be predetermined. And there are plenty of times when we think it is, when the Patriots were 18-0 going into the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they played...
Remember that?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And they were the greatest regular season team of all time. And you'll always have that, Tom Brady. But when push came to shove, and it was a lot of shoving and pushing, courtesy of Michael Strahan and that Giants defensive line, the Giants won.
Yeah.
So I just, again... We don't want Caitlin Clark getting beat up.
No one's saying that, but it's
yeah.
Let them play a little bit.
Let them play. I believe it was the Bad News Bears who chanted, let them play.
That's absolutely right.
And by them, they were talking about a group of people, not a singular. I know the language has changed since then. Let them play now might be referring to one person. It's a different era. But I'm going with the old school let them play, which is just let the whole league do their thing, and we'll sort it out on the scoreboard.
You want someone like Kennedy Smith on your team. You also want someone like Caitlin Clark on your team.
Oh, absolutely, because this is the other thing, okay, is every team has finesse players. Every team has enforcers.
Yes.
Okay, and that's the truth. That's always been the way the league has worked.
Matt Rempe is never going to make a shorthanded goal.
No, but
boy, is it fun watching him just body slam people till their guts fall out.
Oh, especially...
And also, that's the difference between hockey and women's basketball. Women's basketball, they're all running around complaining about the drama, and there are mean girls, and these ones are out of control, and, they're so rude to me. And in men's hockey, they literally physically beat the living crap out of each other.
Yep.
And then at the end of the game, they've got these bloody, toothless smiles, and they're hugging each other, and they're bros on different teams. There's no like, I'm not even talking to you right now.
I get that it was all done in the spirit of competition.
Yes.
And this is my last note then to the WNBA. Okay, I understand they're trying to protect Caitlin Clark and all of that stuff, and I know that's the trendy angle here. But if we were being honest, okay, the thing that gets the most clicks, if you're trying to boost the relevance of the league, are basically Waffle House fights at 2 a.m. that girls get into. Yeah. So that chippy stuff is actually why the league is getting extra
Maybe
bump
Caitlin
right
Clark
now.
should learn how to fight.
Yeah, so I think if anything, they were guilty of not yelling World Star when they knocked her down. That's my only gripe.
Maybe she should put on the foil.
And she could.
Yes.
And if Caitlin Clark comes back in the next week with a hard elbow in the face, this is the funny thing about, this prisoner of the moment mentality we live in when it comes to social justice. If Caitlin Clark elbows somebody in the face a week from now, they're going to be like, good for her, revenge.
Yeah, exactly.
All the people who said this is like thug stuff.
Double standard.
Is there ever? Okay? If she's going to be the best, okay, and I do believe she's obviously super talented, she's going to have to endure what other bests went through. Michael Jordan was really beat up a lot. Okay, on his way to the hole.
And after
the
night we spent playing dice in the men's room.
Oh, was it ever? Well, that was a different hole. But stick with me, kids.
It was.
He was on the way.
But he was fouled.
That's just as well.
Yeah, he drove down the lane. It was exciting. So, Jimmy, I sent you and Victor your executive producer, a picture of darts this weekend. I had no idea darts was so much fun. It was one of the funnest sporting events I've ever been to. It was raucous. Everyone was drunk. They're chanting. They're in costumes. There were dudes dressed as hot dogs. There were 3 Austin Powers. There was George Washingtons. People with traffic cones on their heads. They're chanting the darts players' names.
I love this.
I had no idea. And they market themselves as the biggest party in sports. And I didn't know what I was getting into. I've seen darts on TV. I'm fine with it. I love anything where you have to keep score and there's competition and you're keeping track of players. This was one, I'm going next year. It was one of the funnest things ever.
It was that good.
Yeah.
That's funny. So I will just add this, and this is all I can add. When I was in Boise doing stand-up last year, there was some type of a darts tournament taking place at the hotel I stayed at. They partied like it was an Irish wedding.
Yes.
Because my gig was on a Saturday. I checked in on a Friday, but by the time I had left on a Sunday, none of them had ever left that lobby or ballroom or wherever the heck they were.
It is a subculture. They've figured something out. They're sticking together. They don't care if no one else knows about it.
Really?
Because they are down for a good time. Wow. And it was one of those things I was looking around, and I always love subcultures. I always love things where only a small group of people knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's what this was, but they were very welcoming. And there were a lot of Fox fans there.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, I love this.
There was one guy holding up a sign because you could write notes on the back of the placard to the players, and one guy just wrote FJB.
I love that. Yeah. So to make this clear, okay, the appeal is not there, not just getting drunk and throwing sharp objects. There's a lot of camaraderie, personality.
I mean, the people in the audience, they're not throwing anything.
Oh, you're just watching.
It's the dudes on stage they're throwing, and the caller is, this one bald, I think he's a British guy, but he's like, 180! And people are, because that's like a perfect throw at 180. And then everyone has a sign that says 180, and they're like,
I want to go. I know you've sold me. I don't even know why. I don't even know what I'm latching on specifically.
Exactly.
Because I'm trying.
We need this, Jim.
That's what I mean, but in a weird way we do. Because what you just described is a dream I would have if I took acid and fell asleep. But it still works because I can't take acid and fall asleep anymore. I have things to do when I wake up.
Kind of a sport. There's definitely competition. People have their favorites. They don't care if you don't know anything about it. Just come and hoot and holler. The Star Spangled Banner just broke out spontaneously. Everyone's singing at the top of their lungs in the middle of a match.
So what we need Caitlin Clark to do is go to a darts tournament. Yeah. Toughen her up.
Toughen her up a little bit.
You actually did save the world. I know we advertised that you saved the world in every one of these episodes. I've looked out at the world lately. I got to be honest. I think there's some false advertising to this pod. Okay, but I actually feel like we might have just helped the world.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark, go to darts. Take Angel Reese and that other girl who clotheslined you or whatever the heck she did, and let's all toughen up a little bit.
And it's not Kennedy, I found out. It's Kennedy.
Is that real?
Yeah, even though it's spelled CH.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
wow,
I didn't know
you learn
that either.
Something every day.
I heard Bill Hemmer say, and I was like, really? And
really?
He's like, yeah, it's a K sound. I was like,
that's funny because I have relatives from Czechoslovakia, according to this logic.
Yeah,
God love you.
I like Keech and Kong.
They're great too.
All right, Jim, happy Monday. This has been Kennedy Saves the World, along with Big Jim Failla. I'm Kennedy.
Listen ad-free with a Fox News Podcast Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on the Amazon Music app. Oh, go ahead and leave me a review while you're there. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You've been listening to Kennedy Saves the World on the Fox News Podcast Network.